Testing. What's up, guys? So we are live back on YouTube once again. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a live stream, so I just wanted to get on and do one today. I've got a list of questions here that I'm going to answer, and we're going to dive into any comments that you guys have. I hope you can hear me. This is looking like we are good, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the questions that we got for tonight. So the first question that I have here is thoughts on fabric. What fabric choices do you recommend in the fall winter months for suits and shirts? What are your personal favorite fabrics? So that's kind of two questions there. But I'd have to say, if it's the fall and winter, I think a good fabric that you should definitely consider is going to be something that's a little bit heavier in weight. So you're going to want something that is anywhere from I'd say probably a 12 to 14 ounce fabric. Flannels are good. A worsted wool fabric is going to be something that's also very nice. I typically say if you're a person that runs anywhere, around the cooler temperature, the warmer temperature, I wear year-round fabrics. I wear, things like wool, like a light wool that's 10 ounces throughout the whole year. I also wear linen throughout the whole year. So if you're like me and you run hot, then that's definitely going to be something that you should consider. But if you're someone that runs a lot warmer, is that the term? Yes, warmer I think would be the term. Then in the wintertime, or cooler, if you're running cooler, if you get cold outside, then you're going to want to consider those heavier fabrics. So flannels are going to be nice. A very heavy wool is going to be nice. Those are going to be just a few of the options that I recommend for your fall and winter fabrics. As far as shirts, you could think of, and corduroy. Corduroy is another great fabric for winter. So if you want a pair of corduroy pants or a corduroy jacket, those are also going to keep you warm. On the more casual end, if you want something like a leather or a suede, those are also going to be great jacket items and fabrics that are going to keep you a little bit warm. And then also I'd say with your shirts, I'd say go for something like a denim. Look for a heavier material. I'd say I personally wear poplins and, just poplin fabric shirts all throughout the year. I really don't have a fall type of shirt. I'd say stay away from linen though, because it is a little bit cooler. But those are just a few of the fabrics that I recommend that you wear in the fall and winter time. So another set of questions that I have here, another question that I have is single-breasted versus double-breasted suits. Which one is better and why? So when it comes to single-breasted and double-breasted suits, it really comes down to your personal preference. So are you someone that likes to have that extra layer of fabric moving across your chest, or are you somebody who just wants to keep it a little bit more simple and a little bit more basic? For me personally, I prefer single-breasted jackets. I think that they're just a lot more versatile than, a double-breasted jacket. Double-breasted jackets tend to be really formal. So if you're looking for something that's going to be really dressy, go with a double-breasted jacket. Most of them will have peak lapels. But if you want something that's going to be more casual, that you can break up and wear casually, go with a single-breasted jacket with 2 buttons. I'd say stay away from 1 button, because 1 button is going to be something that is going to be a lot more formal as well. Typically, you see that with tuxedo jackets when you wear those. So those are just a few things that I'd consider. Personally, I always opt to go with a single-breasted jacket, because I just think they look better. I think that they're a little bit more versatile in their nature. So that's what I'd say as far as, jacket choice and what you should be wearing as far as your jackets. Now, with with double-breasted jackets, most of them are going to be peak lapel. So that's also something to consider. If you're a person that likes a thinner lapel, if you're someone that likes to have, not the biggest lapels, then you're going to want to go with a single-breasted jacket. If you're going custom, you can customize all of these different options. So I always say go custom because it's going to be a better fit. It's going to be a better option than just wearing, stuff that's going to be off the rack, because off the rack clothing is going to be a little bit more basic, and like it says, it's off the rack. So that's another question that we got. And then another question that I had here is, what are the 3 elements of a suit? So, and what I think what he means by that is, what are the 3 elements that you should consider when you're commissioning a suit? You're going to Spear & McKay, or you're going to any other place. I'm wearing Spear & McKay today for the jacket and the pants. But if you're going to take the time out, get a custom suit, I recommend taking the time and focusing on, number one, the fabric, because if the fabric's not as good, it's not going to last a long time. So having good fabric is going to be something that's essential to the made-to-measure experience or the custom experience. Then I'd also consider and take a look at the fit of the garments. So you've got your fabric down. You got to do a good 100% natural fabric. You do want to stay away from blends. You don't want a polyester custom suit. It's just not going to be as nice as something that's all wool or all linen or all flannel. And then I'd say to also focus on the fit. Wherever you're getting your suit from, make sure that the fit is good. And when I say fit, I'm talking about the way that the shoulders fit, the sleeve length, the arm width, the way it fits the body. You want to have kind of a V taper when you go in and you're getting stuff tailored. You want to have a good enough amount of room in the shoulders. You want low enough armholes to where it's comfortable, but you don't move around. The armholes don't make your arms in the jacket all move around at the same time. So that's something to consider. Also think about the length of your jacket as well. That's another thing that guys often get a little bit too short or too long when it comes to fitting not only custom garments but off the rack garments as well. So that's something big to consider. And then I'd also say, after you've gotten your fit and your fabric, you also want to think about the function of a suit. So when I say the function of the suit, I'm talking about all the different customizations that you're choosing. The color of the fabric, I think, is something. The details. You want functional button sleeves on the buttons. You want to choose whatever your lapel preference is. You also want to choose, how many buttons you want. Do you want a single-breasted jacket? Do you want a double-breasted jacket? These are all things to consider when you are doing a made-to-measure suit or a custom suit. So those are just a few of the other. That's the other question that I had gotten. Another one we have here. This one is a question that I get all the time, and that is, why don't you make more casual videos? So I personally think, just off of from a logistical standpoint, casual videos on this channel don't perform as well, so that's why I don't do as many casual videos. There are videos on casual items that do very well, so like videos on sneakers or just the shoes, those perform very well. But for the core followers that watch the channel, the videos that don't do as good are going to be more casual. So like the sweaters are casual, that video didn't do as well. So I try to do videos that do well, that I think are interesting topics. And for most guys, dressing casual is pretty simple. You just dress casual. You go and you wear, your jeans, you wear sweatpants, you wear your track pants like you're going to the gym. It's a little bit more simple to wear that stuff than, wearing a suit and a tie and getting all that right. So I just like the formality of the content that I do. So that's kind of why I like to touch on that topic, or why I don't touch on that topic. Another question, this is from a comment on one of the older videos that I did on sleeve length. And the reason I wanted to include this in here is because I wanted to further elaborate on the question, because it was a good question. And he asked, got a notification, he asked, what is the proper shirt sleeve length for my jacket compared to my shirt? So what he's talking about is, how long should your suit jacket sleeve length be versus the length of your dress shirt. So it's really going to depend, but I think the biggest amount of cuff that you want to show, you always want to show some sort of cuff, is going to be either half an inch to an inch. I think an inch is the max amount of fabric that you want to show, because anything over that looks a little bit wild. And when you do sit down and you get up and you move your arms, you're going to show a little bit more. So like currently, I'm showing about an inch of cuff with this shirt. When my sleeves are down, when my arms are down, I show less. I show about half an inch. So that's something to consider as far as the sleeve length. I can't give you a specific, hey, your dress shirt should be 1 or 2 inches longer than the jacket length. But, for me personally, I'd have to say my normal sleeve length is usually 25 inches for my arms on the jacket. And I usually do 25.5 or 26 for the sleeve length, or equivalent to that would be a size 35 from the back of my neck, the center of the back of my neck, to the bottom of my sleeve. So that's the answer to that question. I'm just breezing through these, kind of had some already planned, and there's not many people on here today. So if you guys have questions in the live, let me know and I will answer those as well. But we also have here another question that we got is, have you ever thought about launching your own clothing line? That is actually something I've been thinking about here lately. So I've been doing research, still trying to figure out all the logistics behind what that will look like. But I think it's a good idea. I've been buying brands from all the different brands, and so I know, how things are supposed to fit. I know how to measure, because I have to measure myself for all this stuff. So I know how to tailor, so that would be another benefit. And then also, I just have a knowledge of, what actually I would recommend to people. So those are a few things that I'm considering and thinking about. But I think it is a good idea to start one. I think it'd be a good offering for the subscribers here. But I'd have to make sure that the quality is top notch, because my subscribers and me personally, I only do good quality stuff. I don't mess around with stuff that's not not the greatest. So I'd like to offer a really solid product for a decent price. And also, it's another thing, I like to do things a little bit more affordable. So still trying to figure out those logistics. But let's see. Another question that we have here is, should I own a tuxedo? So I think if you're a guy that goes to different events and you have to dress really formal, and that's the dress code, then I think, yes, you should have a tuxedo. You should probably have a tuxedo in a lighter fabric, and then you should have a velvet jacket for a dinner jacket, or a smoking jacket is going to be also something that you should consider. That's something that I want to add to my wardrobe too, is a tuxedo and a dinner jacket. So I'm looking at that stuff as well. But yes, if you're a guy that's going to more formal events, then definitely do consider getting yourself a dinner jacket or a tuxedo jacket, because they are going to be good options and they're going to be necessary for where you're going. So, but if you're just a guy that goes to work and you dress casual most of the time, you really don't need a tuxedo, because it's just not necessary unless an event calls for it. I always say, though, to plan ahead. So if you think you're going to be going to these type of events, definitely consider investing in one a while before, so that you already have that ready. A lot of guys I notice, they have their weddings, or they're going to a wedding and they want a custom suit like a week before or like 2 weeks before, and that's absolutely no time for most of the makers. So you've got to plan that kind of stuff ahead. So if you're in the future, you're thinking about getting married or something like that, definitely consider getting your suit early, like 6 months early, having it there 6 months early, because things can change, and COVID and all this kind of stuff can make that pretty dicey. So that's something that I've just given a tip, I'd say, to consider that as well. But another topic that just came to mind that I think goes very well with that question is, we talked about, should you own a tuxedo? Another question would be, should you own a suit, or how many suits should you own? And honestly, it's the same answer. It depends on the guy. Are you a guy that's going to different events? Are you a guy like me who doesn't have all these events that you're going to and doesn't necessarily need to wear a suit, but maybe once or twice a month, but just loves dressing this way because it's fun. So these are all things to consider when you are building your wardrobe and you are doing, buying things and you're investing in your wardrobe is, am I going to get enough wear out of the items that I'm purchasing? Because if you're, say, working a construction job per se, and, you're doing the physical labor and you don't necessarily need 12 suits, then you don't need 12 suits. You need just one. And if you're going to just get one, the color, everybody says is color, but you're going to want either gray or navy. You're going to want to stay away from black, because black is typically going to be a more formal color and a more formal option. So reserve that for funerals, not your funeral, but just refer that to funerals. Don't wear that casually or to another event or whatever. But I will say, though, a black suit as a fourth or fifth suit is good, especially with peak lapels, because then you have the option of wearing it as a suit, and you also have the option of wearing it black tie. So that's another great option and a little thing that you can do to stretch out that amount of usability when it comes to a black suit. So that's that question. And then last question that I had here that I got it from two people actually, and it's a really popular question. I feel like I've answered this a few times, but the question is, why'd you start doing YouTube videos? So for me, I've always loved dressing nice. I've always thought it was important. And so the time came, had graduated high school and my brother was still in high school, and we decided we wanted to start a channel. That was, in a simple, short, that's how we got started. So first started off as me and him doing videos together, and then I saw like some serious potential in doing a channel, and so he went off and did his thing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on doing these videos because I thought there was something there, and there is something there. I've seen, a great amount of growth on this channel, and it's been really fun doing these videos. I'm kind of in a weird point now because I don't have as many just random, random topics that pop up in my mind of good videos that I think I should make. And so now that's kind of the major obstacle that I'm running into is, okay, well, I don't want to do just videos just to do them. I like to talk about things that I think are going to make sense, that you guys are going to get stuff out of and get value out of. So that's why I haven't put out a video in a couple of weeks and, haven't really been, or aren't planning on putting out anything, is because I just haven't been thinking about it. So that's kind of where I am as far as, the channel and what's going on with the channel and what I'll be doing in the future. I think something that would be really cool is if I get everything figured out, launching the suit brand and doing videos on that, I think would be fun. I'd also like to do a little bit more different stuff outside the studio, but it's getting a little bit cool outside, which is something that I try to avoid. Someone says, here from Jamaica, what's up? I've been neglecting actually looking at the comments on here. So not many people on today. But yeah, so I've been kind of just in this kind of standstill of what videos do I want to do. I know I will be continuing to do videos, but I have these things like just suits and jackets and random things that come in the mail. Those are also kind of simple videos just to review stuff. But as far as like what's the next topic on the channel, I really don't have an answer as far as what that video would be. And that's where you guys come in. Let me know what you want to see, what type of videos that you think would be interesting to do on the channel, and I'd go from there. So that's one of the last questions that I had. The other question that I had here is that I wanted to answer. Someone was curious of what I do outside of the YouTube channel. So that's also a great question. So let's see. So what do I do outside of the channel? I'm very fortunate because I run my own company. I do videos for businesses, brands, other individuals. I film videos, real estate videos, personal brand videos. I edit podcasts for other companies and creatives. So that's really what I do when I'm not doing these videos, is I focus on that and servicing my clients. So that's what I do when I'm not recording videos. We've got a comment from GFYBFM, and he says, huge fan from last summer and a follower. Just keep going, bro. You're awesome. Okay, thank you. And he said, what is your current watch? Looks like a Seiko on a custom strap. And you are correct. It is a Seiko. I'll go ahead and take it off and hold this up here if that focuses. There we go. So yeah, this is an old Seiko. It's got a dome crystal on it, if you could see that. It's a quartz watch from the 80s. I'd say it's probably the date of when this watch was made. Yeah, it's on a leather strap. The strap is from Smith's Jewelers. So it was just like a $20 leather strap, nothing fancy. But Seiko, I think honestly, Seiko is probably the best value in menswear when it comes to watches. You know, you have your bigger brands, you have your brands like Rolex and, you know, those types of brands, and those are just big. Those prices for a lot of guys are going to be unattainable. And so with Seiko, you get a wide variety of different styles. You get automatic watches, quartz watches, you get basically anything. And so I personally prefer the Seiko. I personally prefer Seiko watches. I just think they're a lot better. Another question we have here is curious about the eBay flip. How much did you get it for? What eBay flip are you referring to? I'm not entirely sure on what you mean by that. What eBay flip you're talking about? Seiko is good, but as well as that Orient or Invicta can help too. Yeah, so Invicta is a good watch. They make the Submariner type style watch that looks just like the real Rolex Submariner. People love all that kind of stuff. So I'm not flipping the watch. I'm going to keep this watch. I really don't flip watches. I like to buy watches and just keep them for, you know, the long run. And so that's really, you know, the plan as far as my watches. But so yeah, we're around 30 minutes. I've answered all the questions that I had here down today. Thank you guys for sending me those. We'll probably do another one of these in the future, another live stream. I'd like to do one a week. I'm trying to figure out what the best days are as far as getting people on here. So today we didn't get many people, but as I continue to do more of these, I think we will. And I kind of just wanted to hop on here today and answer some of those questions and go over those. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to end the stream here right now.